Thank you, thank you. Namaste everyone, and a very warm welcome to Satsang today. Satguru Shri Mujiji ki Jai. If you're in the Hangout, the way to ask questions is to unmute your mic. And on YouTube chat, you can post your questions there and we will look at them. Very good. Hans is here. So we have to sing for Hans at the end of Satsang. We remember that. I was just saying to everyone that I really enjoyed yesterday's Satsang very much because we had this long silence in the beginning and then I felt that qualitatively something was very beautiful about it. So maybe every day when we start, we take a few minutes of silence, not the same amount, not 1 hour, but a few minutes every day when we start satsang, just to be in silence, letting go, letting go of everything that we are grasping onto, all our expectations, all our reports about ourselves, especially all our knowledge, allowing all to come and go. As the great Zen master said, all thoughts are allowed to come and to go, just don't serve them tea. Play with your forces of attention and belief. Don't take anything too seriously. Notice how attention is temperamentally different from belief. Sometimes it listens, sometimes it doesn't. Allow your attention to move. Notice that even though it might be seeming to move, it actually never leaves. Don't be concerned about where attention is going. You are aware of the movement of attention. What is this energy that we call thoughts? Become open to observing it closely. Play with your power of belief. Observe what it means. Give something belief. Play with it. Give your belief to the next thought. Give it your belief. And for the next one, don't give it your belief. Let it come and go. Observe how to the what is. The thought is just an interpretation of what is. Watch how every thought is clamoring for your belief, for your acceptance. Watch all the tricks of this mind. Observe the tendency of the mind to agree or disagree. Both are meaningless. What is does not want our agreement, nor is it concerned about our disagreement. Remain in this simple allowing of letting everything come and go. Whether your eyes are open or closed, whatever might appear before you, see everything as it is, not like the mind tells you it is. See firsthand. May the Satguru's grace and blessings always be upon you. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Like my master says, these thoughts are just auditioning for your attention and belief. Imagine that they're having a contest among themselves, depending on the amount of belief that they get from you. So suppose the thought comes and says, I'm just not getting this. And it gets our belief, full belief. Then it goes back to the 10. Says, yes, I got a 10. How many marks is your next thought going to get? Maya had posted something that Adya had said. I found it very beautiful. Let me read it out. Adya says, I would say that my experience is that I no longer believe the next thought that I have. I'm not capable of actually believing a thought that happens. I have no control over what thoughts appear, but I can't believe that the thought is real or true or significant. To give belief implies to say that it is real, true, or significant, to give it meaning. You see, that is what belief means. So he said, but I can't believe that the thought is real or true or significant. And because no thought can be grasped as real, true, or significant, that itself has an experiential impact. It is the experience of freedom. Therefore, when Papaji said, drop the search for freedom, he did not mean drop the search for freedom, but keep all other desires alive. And then drop the search, everything, including freedom. and check on what is already here. What is bound? What is bound? Now, don't go with any projections the mind is sending you now. There is the bondage right now. See directly for yourself. Don't say, I still think something, I still feel something. Don't go with second hand evidence of thoughts and feelings. Just look. There a person living inside this body,
Ananta.
or is it just presence that is experienced even before the body, prior to all other experiencing? Don't go with any imagination, no visualization. And even if you're going with imagination, then at least have the integrity to see that this is just my imagination and I'm going with it. In the strength of your direct seeing, in the fire of your unassociated presence, no delusion can survive, not without your approval anyway.
Can I say something? I just want to say it like just because it's gone on there.
Yes, you must.
So there's probably like no point in it or anything, but I'm just gonna say it. So you say sometimes that awareness is aware of appearance, but I'm not sure if awareness is really aware of any appearances. I know, like maybe like I can understand it, but if you go like kind of like back like this, it seems like that. So if you go back just a bit, like feels like awareness is like aware of being, but actually I'm not even sure that awareness is actually even aware of being. It's just like knowing is just knowing itself, and being is just being itself, and that's it.
So this is very good. Yes. So we must look at this. So she says, is awareness really aware of anything, including being? Because I say often that I am aware even of being. Awareness is aware of being. You see? So I am aware that being is here. This I, who would it be if it is not awareness? Huh? Could you say that I am aware of being or not?
Yeah, I can say it. Yeah. But I can say it, but like I don't know if it's really true.
Yes. So the presence of I am, there is something that is aware of it or not?
If I just like forget about like, I'm not sure, okay? Because if I just forget about all words and everything, then
all words are forgotten. Directly we are looking. What do you see directly when you look?
like so the presence of being is here and I know
is here. It is known that it is here. This knowing itself is what awareness is. And it is this knowing itself which knows itself even.
So it doesn't know that it doesn't know itself as anything. I know it's just like obvious thing you say all the time. So it doesn't know itself as anything different than itself.
Yes.
So it doesn't make any distinction in between being and knowing.
It doesn't make any distinction, and yet it is known that knowing itself is without any attribute. And also it is known that being is a sense of presence. And it is this knowing which knows this. Although it is no preference about it, it is not concerned about it, but it is only this knowing that knows this. Then what might be also causing some confusion is that we see that all experiencing after that belongs to this being itself. Isn't it? It is the being that is tasting what is tasted in this phenomenal realm. Because without being there is no sensory perception. Even inner, so-called inner perception is not there without the presence of this being.
So like in some way, you know the way you say like awareness is aware of appearances.
Yeah.
In some way, it's like being is, even though we say it's like an appearance, it's kind of not. Is that?
So you can say, if you were to expand that, you would say that awareness is aware of phenomenal witnessing. So phenomenal witnessing is happening with being, and there is awareness which is aware that this phenomenal witnessing is happening. It's aware of it, and yet completely unconcerned by it. Okay. Right now, you can check this. So, table is experienced
That's what the
phenomenon.
confusion is, because it's like I know I'm aware and I know I'm aware of all the occurrences, but at the same time I feel like I'm not aware of anything except myself.
So when awareness, when attention comes back to awareness itself, then it seems like no content is touching this. That's why this sense can come that I'm really aware of anything at all. Because when in awareness of awareness itself, it seems unblemished by any phenomenal experience. This is when attention is not going anywhere in the phenomenal realm. But when attention does move in this plane, then you can find that the process of being, witnessing the phenomenon is occurring, and who's aware of that? I am. We can talk more. I think it's good. So we see that touch the table. It is experienced. Who is experiencing it? Would you say that being is experiencing it? I would find that completely acceptable to say that it is being which is present here, which is tasting this experience of the table. And awareness is aware of this happening and yet remains completely untouched by it. Where does it disconnect?
It's kind of like it is and it isn't at the same time.
It is, yes. This also I can find okay, because that's what I mean when I say unconcerned by it. I can say that it is aware of this phenomenal perceiving going on, and yet because it remains untouched, unconcerned, you can say it doesn't really matter. Mm-hmm.
So it is and it isn't, and like it isn't feels like more true. But of course,
yes,
in the world of experience,
but then I would not be able to say that I am aware of anything at all. You see, because that part, awareness just being aware of itself, that cannot be denied anyway. You see? So that we can never say that awareness is not even aware of itself, we cannot say because it is just what it is. You tell me when I start losing it. Okay? So this primal awareness, which is awareness aware of itself, always is, isn't it? Now the question comes, is it really aware of anything after that? Like being. So yes, it is the same awareness which is aware of itself, is now aware of this presence which is here. If it was not this awareness, then what would be aware of it? Is that how does it look to you? The presence is here or not? Therefore, you're already in that confirming that you know that the presence is here. So this knowing itself is awareness.
It's not, yeah. It's like there's like something trying to like make sense of the world, because it's almost like it's like there and not there at the same time.
Yes. So if we first remove the distinguishing between knowing and awareness, you see, because something is trying to make being aware of something as an experiential thing. So if knowing and being aware are the same thing, now let's speak from the perspective of knowing. I know that phenomenal perceiving is happening. Can we say, I don't know that phenomenal perceiving is happening? Is this our direct experience? Whether it's a happening or not, that we can discuss later. Maybe that's where the confusion is coming from. Whether it's truly happening or not, we can keep that aside and see in this moment, I know that phenomenally this table is being experienced. Whether the experience holds true to me or not, all that we can keep aside for some time. But in this moment, I know that there is a table being experienced. And yet this knowing remains constantly unconcerned and untouched. Therefore, nothing is really happening to the knowing. The knowing is not even phenomenally experiencing it. It is only the being. But I still know that this phenomenal experiencing is going on. With me so far?
Yeah.
So keep the word awareness away for some time, because I feel that somewhere being aware of is being construed as a phenomenal experience or something. So just keep it simple as knowing itself. So can we say that I don't know being is here? This is the same as saying that I am aware of being. I don't want to confuse you with words. If this is directly. So when we say I know that being is here, but I don't know whether I'm aware of it, that means there's some other meaning being given to awareness rather than this knowing itself. So do we know that being is here or not?
Yeah.
It is the same as saying I am aware of being.
And it's the same as saying I'm aware of appearances. And
Same
just
as
all the
saying,
other
yes.
appearances are just being in.
Exactly. So all the appearances are being phenomenally experienced by being itself. We don't even have to say that. If it doesn't feel at home comfortable yet, we can just say, I am aware that phenomenal experiencing is happening.
I don't know why it just feels weird.
Yes.
Like when I'm looking like really close. No. Do you understand?
Yes. But we can look together. Let's start from just this knowing itself. Nothing is happening to it. Remains untouched, unconcerned, unmoved. There is a knowing of this knowing, just without any attributes. But in the waking state, it cannot be denied that the presence is here, the presence of being. I sense that I am. There is this sense here that I am. Who knows this? The same knowing.
So it's actually like the same knowing knows being.
Yes.
And then, but really it's just being who's saying everything.
Yes, of course.
So in some sense, I don't know.
You can say it's okay.
No, I don't know.
No, because unless you say, then if there's something that in the expression how it emerges from here that ends up being confusing, we can modify that.
I don't know.
It is the same knowing, the same awareness.
Because it's almost like knowing knows itself.
Yes.
Like knowing knows knowing. And
knowing knows knowing.
Knowing also knows being.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But
if
really,
knowing did not know being, then would we know that there is something called being? We would not. Isn't it? Because there is no other knowing.
So it's like being, I don't know, just these words don't really sound like much.
It's okay.
Like being is only for knowing.
Yes. It is only for knowing. It cannot be for anything else. It is only for this. Clear? You can always ask. Because I know when we are speaking like that, it can sound like, oh, but is it really something that needs to be asked? Maybe I can just look at this myself. Something like this. Yeah? Don't have this hesitation. These are the contemplations I really enjoy very much.
Because the confusion is just, like in Satsang,
Yeah.
there's like, it's just like you have to do this, but like there was like you kind of separate everything out, just like that everything has different words. So
Hopefully leading to integration and not disintegration.
yeah.
The intent is just to be able to see that this is the way the game plays, so that eventually we see that the game is all happening for my knowing, not to create separation. To say, that's why the intent is not to create the separation that there is a true person sitting there somewhere, and there's being sitting somewhere, and then there's awareness somewhere. It's not like that. Just to look so that we can just see what is being looked at, so that we can then integrate and see it's all just one. This knowing itself, this awareness itself. Hopefully, it's an integrative movement, not a distinguishing.
So
Yeah.
I'm kind of wondering where do all like, because like being is just being, okay? It's just present.
Just being. Yes, and once it's seen that it's just being, then no confusion. But when it is seen in this play, that when one is severely believing so strongly that they are this person entity, then it is important to say that yes, being is just being, but in the presence of being, there are also these forces of attention, of belief, and this is how they are being used. So we're deconstructing the play in some sense, so that we can then step back from it and see it was just a play. Ultimately, what difference will it make? Nothing. Because knowing has always just been knowing, and being has always just been being. But in the realm of the play, this is how it gets played out. That at some point there is the construction of this false personal identity, and at some point there's a deconstruction of this false personal identity. Not to mean that something really happened.
So I'm wondering, like, where do all the like appearances fit in? Like, so awareness knows being only as like presence and just as itself. It doesn't really know awareness. Doesn't really know like any image or anything.
Say again. So awareness knows being. Yes. So knowing knows being.
Knowing knows being just purely as just being.
As being.
Yeah, but not really as like tailored.
Not really as?
Like anything that we see, any image
Or the
of
table.
the body or a table. Or
yes, yes. But it knows, in the sense that it knows that this phenomenal tasting, so if we have a sip of water, so being, it experiences that it has just this neutrality, water has this neutrality. You see? So being is getting that phenomenal experience, and awareness is aware. Knowing knows that this is what is being experienced without any commentary about it. You see, so I'm sensing that there's this sense that awareness is just aware of being and then it stops being aware.
Something like that.
Something like that is happening. Awareness is aware of being, but the same way that it is aware of being, it is also aware that phenomenal experiencing is happening.
It's like, you know, the way when you say like there's only seeing, like whenever anyone says that, I never know what to talk about. Ever.
It means only seeing with a capital S. When we say, we mean knowing or awareness, the same thing.
So, like, if being is experiencing anything at all, and it's known,
it is known.
Then that's
so
just
if phenomenally I'm seeing that this pair of glasses is here, so the small s seeing is this seeing, the phenomenal seeing. Yes, and yet I know that this seeing is occurring. Do I know or not?
So there's something I'm trying to see, is it all like one thing? So I see that there's like seeing. Okay, so there's just seeing of everything.
Yes, now you're saying about the capital seeing or the small s seeing?
I'm not sure.
Are you talking about sensory perceiving?
So like there's just seeing of everything.
Yes. Which is it different from the knowing of everything?
That's what I mean.
It is not. So when we say this seeing with a capital S, it is the same. It's a synonym for awareness, capital A awareness, knowing, capital K. Why I'm saying capital is important because the small versions of those can mean the phenomenal aspect of this. So seeing the small can be the visual through the sensory perceiving. The knowing with the small k can mean the mental conceptual understanding of something. So it's important to make that.
It's weird because like so if I'm like seeing your body and and hearing sounds or something, you can say like that's seeing because like
yes, but this is the small seeing that we're talking about.
So because the seeing with the big S is like completely unconcerned, then it's almost like it's not really happening.
Yes, to it is not happening. But to the seeing with the capital S, to awareness, it is aware that this phenomenal seeing is happening. Can we check and say that right now, I don't know that this phenomenal seeing is happening? We can't say that. I do know. This is the only true knowing. You see? So there is not a separate knowing that being has. Maybe there's some room for confusion there. You see? So we're looking at all corners to see. So there's this knowing that looking at a computer is happening. This knowing is prior to the looking. This looking is the smallest looking.
But I don't understand like smallest. I don't understand what you mean.
So we can check that right now. So there is a seeing of these glasses. Do you know that there is seeing of these glasses? So the seeing of these glasses is the small s1, which is happening through the eyes, the sensory perception. Yes, but the knowing has remained untouched, and yet it is known that seeing of glasses is happening. Mm-hmm. So seeing of this, seeing of this, seeing of this, all this perceiving, it is known that all this perceiving is happening. This knowing is the primal knowing, the capital A awareness.
So it kind of seems like experientially, then you're really only experiencing the knowing. Isn't it like that?
When we say experience, we are talking about the phenomenal tasting of this realm, which being is doing. But who knows that being is doing this? It is that same knowing. You see, so knowing itself, we don't usually call that an experience. because it's not tasted in any way. Right? It doesn't have attributes. Although I know that we could say that yes, of course, it's an experience that I have of myself, of my true self. Awareness, being aware of itself, is experienced. But if you start using words like that, then it will become a mess. Because then the phenomenal experiencing and this attribute-less experiencing, then you will not be able to distinguish between.
So I understand. Maybe more stuff will come. But like why all that comes is because like it's like maybe I said that already, but it's like I'm only seeing being. That's all.
Yes. You're only seeing being.
And I feel like saying I'm only experiencing being.
Yet you know that there is a body there, and there's a body here, and these words are being transferred. You know this is happening, appearing. This is also known by the same knowing itself. Is it a different knowing that knows being, and a different knowing that is aware of these appearances? It's the same one. Therefore, the same way that we can say that I am aware of my being, I can say that I am aware of all the phenomenal experiencing which is happening. Okay. So, if when the waking state comes, there is a knowing that the sense I am is present. No trouble till there. We are on the same page as far as that point is concerned, isn't it?
What did you say? You wake up and you know that sense of being.
Yes. You know that the sense of being is present. Now, what you are saying is that this knowing only knows this.
Yeah.
Isn't it? I am saying that even what is experienced by this sense of being is known by the same knowing. Even what is experienced through this being is also known by the same knowing, although it is experienced by being. Because I know that there are some bodies that are sitting here.
That's the way where it's like not funny because like it's experienced by being, so you can't deny that it's experienced. And of course, there's only one knowing. There can't be any other knowing. But somehow, somehow it seems like to say that knowing knows that is weird. I don't know.
Yes, because knowing knows, when we say like that, implies some sort of a mental conceptual knowing. It doesn't know that way, that I know something about this. Not that way. It is just aware of. That's why good to keep interchanging these words. Sometimes.
Yeah, it's just the knowing that's not. It's just like knowing.
Yeah, it's just knowing. It's just aware. Yeah. See, now aware seems more appropriate to use because knowing. Then,
no, actually, knowing is better.
Yeah,
it's fun. I don't know. Okay, it's good.
So just all of you, knowing with a capital K, seeing with a capital S, and awareness with a capital A, we use synonymously. The phenomenal aspects of these, which are the phenomenal perceiving, which is the seeing in the world, the mental knowing, that we refer to with the small s and small k. And it might seem strange to you that we spend so much time on this, but it's important for me because I know that these small tricky ones, can still play up sometimes. And I know that there's nowhere else in the world, but no book, no text which you can just refer to and clarify this so simply as we can do here.
Okay, so just one more thing. Okay, so like awareness is aware of experiencing. and experiencing and being outside.
Experiencing is what, yeah, we can say same, but I'd like to say experiencing is what being is doing.
Yeah.
Because being, just being, you can say that is also experiencing, but just for the sake of clarity, I'd like to say being is being, and it is doing and experiencing all of this phenomenal play.
I know it's weird, like you say all this stuff all the time.
No, it's good. It's good to get that thing because it can come, but knowing. So, what you started by saying is that knowing is just knowing itself and nothing else. And then we looked and said, knowing knows also that presence of being is here. So, knowing knows being. See, awareness is aware of being. Right? And then something was saying, okay, but just that. Isn't it? Now we can see that it's the same knowing which is aware even of phenomenal experiencing, which is happening through being or to being, whatever you want to say, in the light of being. But the same knowing is aware, knows that this is what is appearing.
Father, can I ask something to
Okay, Nitya can come first and then Aparna can come.
Father, I would like to ask something to this topic. I was contemplating this too, and it seems that I cannot. There's beingness, yes, but it's this. I'm just not sure if this beingness is really there. You know, I can say awareness is aware of itself. This is the only thing here which I'm really sure of. But anything else which is which comes after that, yes, I'm just not sure. It's experiencing is there, beingness is there, experiencing is there, but it's like just this. I have no word. I cannot. This word doesn't exist. What I want to. Actually.
Now, why I'm smiling so much is because I feel I'm so blessed with all of your presence, because for many years I had questions like this. Before I met Guruji, I had questions like this, and I found nobody I could talk to about these things. You start talking about awareness and being usually with even the most spiritual ones, and they start losing you very quickly. So blessed, actually, I feel, to be in the company of all of you, and we can contemplate these things so beautifully together. So let me see if I got the gist of what you are saying. You say that awareness of awareness itself, or the seeing of seeing itself, seems like the only true thing. Although the appearance of being is here, the appearance of all this other phenomena is here, it doesn't seem really true. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. And that is why once we start seeing like this, then the play of this world just at best seems like a leela, like just like a play.
Yes.
Because now primarily you will identify as this awareness itself, awareness being aware of itself. And secondarily, this play of I am is going on. This is very good. This is very.
Oh, thank you. That was really good.
That is why it is called a Leela, you see. That is why it is called a Leela. That is why this is called Maya.
Yes. Wow. Thank you for that.
You see, now this, like this, then you will sense that being becomes so light because all identification with concepts and personhood is getting dissolved. And all of this just starts seeming like a dream, like a daydream, isn't it? That it's here, it's appearing, but is it really real? I cannot say. In fact, it seems completely unreal.
That's exactly what I mean. Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Very happy. Very happy. This is very. Now Aparna can come.
I have something similar to ask.
Yes.
Because today, for past 2 days, there's a lot of silent sitting happening. So today there was something which opened up or shifted something. And my question is, if I know there is knowing this being. It feels like knowing is not knowing, known, or being is not being. Like, it cannot be sensed. It's not possible to sense.
Can you say this part again? Your voice was not very clear. No,
Okay.
it seems knowing is.
It's not like knowing is there. I know, but it's not like.
It's not a mental knowing.
Yeah, mental knowing, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
thing. But like you're aware, but you don't know that you're aware. The being is here, but it's it's like mentally knowing again that there is being here or something like that. That was one thing. And the second thing what I want to ask is like awareness, okay, I'm aware of my surroundings. So I know wherever the limited perception, like I can go up to the end of this room. I don't know what's going on in the living room or outside the window. So the feels it's like this is limited, like the awareness, or is it beyond? Because it says it's beyond, it's unknown, it's infinite. Then this clarity is not there to see where it is beyond, where it is unlimited or infinite or something like that. So this thing, and with the understanding what I had in the morning, it felt like everything is coming from inside. So there's nothing from outside which is coming. Even to say this thought, everything is just coming from inside, which is made out of you. Like it's coming from you. And when you know it is coming from you, you don't really need to get what to say, fear, or you don't need to really identify with that because it's coming from you. And there is this choice whether you want to identify with that or you just want to just do better. This is something which I got, and when I got this understanding, automatically it stopped. Like all these days, it was like crazy for me, and like I could feel that inside jumping up and down to get out of this, getting identified, with attention going there. The moment this understanding came, automatically there was this, even though attention when it automatically came back, and it's like as you said, it's not moving out anywhere, it's still there, because everything is happening in this consciousness. There was beautiful clarity today, Father. I don't know why I get sometimes. Okay. It just opened up something today, and it felt so beautiful. But then this thing came up, like it felt like limited kind of thing. So if you can just give some more clarity on that topic, that would be helpful. Thank you, Father.
Yes, this is very good. So let's look at this together from the beginning. Okay, give me a couple of minutes. I'll just check on what's happening.
Ji. Om Ananta Ananta 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 Ji. Om Ananta Om Ananta Ananta Ji. Om Ananta Ananta Ji. Om Ananta Ananta Ji. Om Ananta. Ananta, Ananta, Ananta. Om Ananta, Ananta Ji. Om Ananta, Ananta Ji. Om Ananta, Ananta Ji.
So we've not had water in our building since this morning. So we are looking at what Aparna was saying. And I was saying that let's start from the very beginning. Awareness of awareness itself. No other appearance. Just like the sleep state. Awareness being aware of itself and no reporting of that is possible. No interpretation of this is possible. Because all phenomena is absent. Yet I know, awareness is aware that all phenomena is absent. Awareness is aware that there is something called sleep. Not the label of sleep, but is aware that all phenomena is absent. The first appearance is what? What appears first? Is this sense that I am. There is never a world without first being a me. There's always this sense that my thoughts, my body, my experiences, the sense that I am, I exist phenomenally, appears, and this is also known. Therefore, this awareness is aware of this being. And this being is made up of this awareness itself. Nothing changed for awareness. All these appearances started appearing. So now in the presence of being, there is the appearance of body and the appearance of the rest of the world. With the appearance of the rest of the world, the idea of this separation or separate existence got believed in. And in this world then, this play plays like this. Now part of the play is language, communication in this phenomenal realm. And this language is meant to describe phenomena actually. Now the challenge in satsang is that we try to use this language which was meant for phenomena to explain that or point to that which is non-phenomenal, prior to phenomena. So no word really matches up. Because when the word seeing is used, it was designed to be used or understood to be used in terms of the phenomenal seeing. When the word knowing is used, it was meant to describe the conceptual or mental knowing. And when the word awareness was used, it is meant to describe that I am phenomenally aware that something is present or not present. And that is why these words can cause this kind of confusion. And that is why I like to interchange. So sometimes I'll say seeing, sometimes I'll say pure witnessing, sometimes I'll say awareness, to denote that which is not describable in words. For the frustration of satsang can be that words can get us to this point of mental understanding, and then it seems like there's a quantum leap, and no mind can take this quantum leap. This is where the presence of satsang, the presence of the master, helps. Because we find that in this presence, somehow something is automatically getting pulled into this direct seeing instead of the reliance on words. Although we can use the words now, when we use the word knowing is knowing itself, it is completely confusing to the mind, but directly it is seen now. And that is why these simple pointers have been also given to you. So when we check, can I stop being now? Can the mind really answer this question? Can I stop being? The mind doesn't have a clue. It can pretend to know the answer, but this must be directly checked, you see. That is why there is great power in these questions. Can I stop being? It is seen directly that presence is here, being is here. How can it be stopped? So this direct seeing is what we call the knowing, this awareness. That is why I keep saying don't give it to the mind. Because the mind will say, oh, now I know this being cannot be stopped. So if it becomes just another mental concept, then we have gone away again from the direct seeing, the direct knowing. And as we remain with this, the being is here, it is directly seen, and then we say, am I aware now? And this is not a phenomenal experience at all. And yet it is completely clear. I am aware. It is this awareness itself which is aware of itself. No thought can come close to this direct seeing. As we stay with this awareness, being aware of itself, then no concept actually seems to have an attraction. Even the concepts of inside or outside, in front of or behind, all of this is meaningless. Because awareness is untouched by time and space. Now the only trouble that comes is that we try to make a mental picture out of it. And all attempts to visualize this, imagine this, don't succeed. So for some time it can feel like, do I really know anything? And this attempt to mentally create a picture is also given up. But the good news is that every time I check, it is just clear. So the true use of satsang is to bring you to this point where instead of relying on any mental framework, we are just directly checking. And if we can keep this directness uncontaminated by what the mind is trying to tell us, then we see that already it has always been completely clear. It was only the ideas I had about it which were foggy.
Okay, I don't know what to say now. Feels like I don't even have the words how to ask the question now because I've forgotten what you said. When you said when I asked him stop being now, feels like mentally it was answered. I cannot stop being, but that sense, that feel, that I can't feel it, I can't sense it. It's silly because I'm alive. So I don't need to go and check myself. Am I alive now? I can't. I mean, that makes no sense. It makes no sense to keep checking every time that, oh, am I, when I ask, can I stop being, am I alive now? Do I exist here? Am I here now? I don't know. Does it make sense, Father, what I'm asking? I really need to get this clear because I don't know from where all these things is going on. So all this time, was it mentally, even if it is mental understanding, isn't it still behind there is awareness and beingness? So, okay, when I ask, can I stop being now? It feels like there is no, I can't sense it. It's not true, but it feels like I can't sense the being. When I ask, are you aware now? I can't, I can't, it feels like I can't be aware of it or something like that. It doesn't make sense, but something like that it is, even though it is not true, but it feels like that. So this has been, for me it feels like, okay, if this is like that, if maybe, okay, let's say if the mind is trying to block it or it's just a thought that I'm not aware, but still I'm aware of that too, whatever is said. So where does things come? Where does this thought comes like that, or whatever this forgetting or whatever it is? Where does it stand? Like if it's there, then why is it still not clear? Like suddenly, sometimes it is very clear. Am I aware? Yes, I am aware. I don't need to go and check anything. I know I'm aware. Are you? alive, yes, I am alive. I can feel my body is alive. I have to sometimes literally check physically that I am alive. So past 3-4 days, sitting in silence is like driving me crazy. It's just driving me crazy. The mind is for the stress punch. All the tantrums are coming up. I'm just putting up with very strong and determined to be in silence. So all these doubts are coming up. When I sit in silence, sorry Father, but I really have to get this sorted out. I don't know if I'm taking up sorry time, but this clarity has to be there today. Why it feels like why it feels even though it is not true. Sorry if you can just
So what I'm saying is, don't try to make sense of it. The struggle is in the trying to make sense of it. Let it not make sense for just a while. Let it not make sense. Now directly, what is seen when the question is asked, can I stop being now? The mind will keep coming and saying, but is this your experience? Okay? But clearly, every time you ask, you say, no, I can't stop being. Just I am. I am here. Cannot be stopped. This already is it. No sense needs to be made out of this. It is not the thought I am, you see. It is the sense I am. And why do we say it like this? Why do we say, can I stop being? Instead of saying, can I find being? Because I've seen that the can I stop being makes it very clear quickly. Can I find being can seem to lead us around many confusing roads looking for various types of experiences. But here, instantly, when we say, can I stop being? It's either a yes or a no. And it's seen, no, I can't stop being. Just the ability to see that no, I can't stop is the knowing that being is here. Now, if we give this to the mind, the trouble comes when we want a mental confirmation of this. What do you think it will do?
right now I don't know the meaning of being also. This is what is coming up.
Yes.
I don't know what is being.
Don't have to know the meaning of it. But can you stop being?
I don't know, Father. Because if I give you the answer, it will come from mind. So I'm not sure if that is true or not.
You tell me what you see. I say stop being for a minute. Just turn it off. What do you see? Don't wait for your mind to report the yes or the no. What do you see?
I can't stop being.
Hmm?
I can't stop being.
Can't stop being. Was this a mental inference? Like the world is round comes from our knowledge of what we have read about the world. Was it similar when we say I can't stop being? Or is it seen directly here? No, being is here. How can it stop?
Yeah. 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 It's seen here. I cannot stop being.
You see, here I can't stop being. This which cannot be stopped is being, is presence, is consciousness, is I am. And you are that which knows that being is here. Again, don't try to make sense of it. Just see directly. I know that being is here. I am aware that being cannot be stopped. When it is seen directly like this, then the mind can try to make trouble, but can it succeed? It's like there are two options for me. I can close my eyes and ask, is there a glass of water on this table? And the mind will give all kinds of answers. But when it is checked directly, then does it matter what the mind says? No, yes, maybe.
But it's not very, I know that it is mind against some father. So this was supposed to say, or it's not communist or something like that. Because even though you ask, these things are, I know, Father, I don't know where I don't know what this is, Father.
Don't know anything. Don't know anything. You don't need to hold on to any knowledge at all because the truth is not leaving you. Every time you check, it will be here only. The answers to these questions will not change. So don't burden yourself with any of this. Throw it away.
I don't know.
Can you say no to I am not aware to am I aware now?
The answer is not coming. What answer is coming is not true. I know that. That's why it feels like that. When you ask, am I aware now? I
The
think
answer,
I am aware, but it is not true. Well, I don't know if it is true. That's what I should say.
whatever answer is coming, forget about it. What do you see?
It is like, but continuously how you use the same word and you get confused with the word. So every time I've been asking, am I aware, am I aware, am I aware? So it feels like there is no essence in that question. If I ask, am I aware now? No answer. I mean, that the I can't say yes, I can't say no. It doesn't feel anything to me. When I say, am I aware now? Nothing like that, something like that. Very casual, something like that.
Yes, because it is a non-phenomenal seeing, knowing of itself. See, it's not all other things when we check is a phenomenal experience. But this knowing that awareness is here, it cannot be perceived phenomenally, you see. You just know. Unless you give it to the mind, it cannot be confusing. It is just here. Are you aware simply, yes or no? When you check.
Yes, Father.
That's it. That's it.
Father, how do we give it to mind?
How do you?
Give it to mind.
You give it to the mind by doing like this. So you said, yes, Father, it was enough. And then you're saying, okay, now what is the report about it? Have I truly said yes from the right place? Did I really see it? All this we're waiting for mental answers, you see. Have I got it or not? This time did I see clearly? Am I answering truthfully? All these questions are giving it to the mind.
Mind is nothing but thought.
Yes.
I, as consciousness, why will I give all of these things to mind?
Yes. Because now,
How it works?
yes, what does it mean to give it to the mind? It means that we put out a question and we are waiting for a thought to come in response to that, and we think that thought in response to the question is the truth. Why does consciousness do it? Because it's part of its play. And now we can say that it is habituated to this play.
How do you entangle or untangle it? I don't know. How do you uncondition this thought, break the habit? I don't know.
By not believing your next thought.
Yes, this is the mantra. I know that.
This is?
The mantra. This is the mantra. I know that. So when I'm asking, why is it referring to mind? Where is the belief coming there then?
No.
Is it also?
Just don't believe your next thought right now.
Feels like after graduation, I'm coming back to the first standard to graduate to something like that. It feels now. It feels like after finishing graduation, to come back to
This is also
LKG or preschool and then ask for everything.
just a thought. It is just a thought.
Then I have to take everything further.
It is also a thought. This is also a thought. The speaking will happen on its own. It is already happening on its own. There is no problem. I know this. Okay, my loves, I have to run because I need to sort out the building issues. I can leave the computer here for some time and you can sing if you like, you can play the invocation. Thank you all so very much for being in Satsang today. Satguru Shri Mujiji ki Jai.
Satguru Shri Ananta Ji ki Jai.
I just want to say that there might be some of you there's the echo. Let me try again. There might be some of you who are getting frustrated with this topic or this line of discussion. It might seem too abstract or difficult. Some other type of resistances might be coming also. Just remain as open as you can. Even if the words are not making sense, let the presence of the words percolate into your being. And you will find that automatically when these questions come for you, you will find that the answer is already there with you. And you will one day find great joy in these contemplations as well. Love you all so very much. Azhar will sing, no? All will join you. Brahmanand Swarupa Isha Jagadisha Akhilanand Swarupa Isha Mahesha 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 Brahmanand Swarupa Isha Jagadisha Akhilananda Swarupa Isha Isha Brahmananda Swarupa Isha Jagadisha Akhilananda Swarupa Isha Isha
Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Dhyanamoolam Gurur Murti Pujamulam Gurur Padam Mantramulam Gurur Vakyam Mokshamulam Gurur Kripa Mokshamulam Mujiji Kripa Mokshamulam Anantaji Kripa Sarvesham Swastirvavatu Sarvesham Shantirvavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Sarve Bhavantu Sukhya Sarve Santu Niramya Sarve Patrani Pashantu Makaschit Tukabak Bhavet Asato Masat Kamiya Tamaso Ma Jyotir Gamiya Mrichur Ma Amritam Gamiya Om Purnamida Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Brahma Paramastu Om Shri Satguru Bhagavan Ki Jai Om Shri Satguru Mujiji Ki Jai.
Satguru Sri Murtiji ki Jai. Satguru Sri Ananta Ji ki
Jai. Jai.
Sangeet ji ki